Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor is due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in his gospel, by lifting up the standard of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. It says, the stench is unbearable, dead bodies piling up, FEMA abandons North Carolina residents amid Hurricane Helene. And this is going into the eyewitness accounts, well, alternative media that has been reporting on Hurricane Helene, which have come and gone, which left countless of dead people that they're not reporting on in the news. You know, one thing about the news, you have what they call selective news hearing, and what Esau does is that he basically propagates on the fear and the panic of people. So therefore he will go, but he also likes to downplay certain things too. Like, he's not basically telling you that FEMA is confiscating resources and pretty much threatening to arrest people at gunpoint for those that's trying to help out with the homeless out there, or the people that was displaced because of the hurricane, you know. So right here is a witness account of this woman giving her account basically of the dead bodies, man, you know. And this is not the only account. There was several other people that mentioned that you had bodies floating on the water, you had people toppled over in vehicles, people dead on the roofs, man, and it was just bad. And then the funny part about it is that you have another Category 5 hurricane by the name of Milton, which is going to hit the Tampa area today, if it hadn't already hit, you know, which they're predicting to be one of the worst hurricanes recorded in history. So this is like a 19-minute video, but I'm not going to play the whole 19 minutes because I actually have another video I want to play, which I almost thought this was the same person, you know, but all Edomites look alike. But I'm assuming that's not her because, you know, you got two different hair colors. I don't think she went to dye hair a certain color and come back and do an interview. That don't make sense. But regardless, I have two videos I want to play. And it's to show you the times we living in, man. Okay, the Lord has answered. He's spoken. You know, we've stated that the Most High was just going to start dropping bodies. And right now, judgment is going out like crazy, man. Okay, so how much manner of persons we ought to be in the times we in, to continue to give our praises and worship and glory to the Most High and His Son. Because these people, they don't know the Most High. They don't know Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. They don't understand his terror. They don't understand the fear of the Lord. They don't understand the Lord's capabilities, man. You know, people are proud, man. They're haughty. They feel like they've gotten it on their own means. No. Okay, you're dealing with the true higher power here that does not regard life. He does not give a shit. So if you in error, hey, the Lord, He'll flush you away. Okay, so I'm gonna bring out this precept real quick. I mean, not the precept, but I'm gonna play a couple minutes of the video, get a couple of precepts, and I'm gonna play the other video, and we'll go ahead and close it on out. I'm trying to make these lessons to the point, you know, that way, you know, Jake get the edification and the updated prophecy, and then, you know, we push on to the next one. So here we go.
So I am in Forest City, North Carolina. We're in the foothills of the mountains, about an hour from the center of Asheville. We did sustain a lot of damage, but it was mostly high winds. We do have some flooding, but our town has, you know, it's most of it's remained. The people are doing pretty well. We do have to, like, gas is limited. We have to sit in line for about an hour, and then you may have a $20 or $50 limit on what you can get.
See, that's Jacob's, that's Second Ezra's 15th chapter, jumping off the books. That's jumping off the page right now. Like right now, we are in the book of Second Ezra 15. Now, we still have a semblance of society intact because even though, you know, society has stopped for them, we still have to go to work, pay bills, you know. But there's going to come a time that this entire system is going to fall on its head, on its heels, and it's going to be chaos in the streets of America. So this is just a small precursor before the actual storm. This is just the rain, bro. This ain't even the clouds, man. Okay, the real storm is coming, and that's when it's gonna get really, really turned up out here. All right,
Which you just burnt sitting there for an hour. And that's if you can find it. You know, like I said, we're fortunate. We have gas. But around us, every county, oh my goodness, the damage is devastating. Buncombe County, Mitchell County.
I see this guy all around, and I'm finally going to ask him what he does for a living to afford this car.
all around us, McDowell County, Henderson County. The damage is just incredible. Um, I've got so Chimney Rock, parts of Asheville, parts of Hendersonville, Marshall, Bryson City, Cherokee, and the lower parts of Lake Lure were or are still underwater.
Wow.
There are people that are still stranded. They're not getting help. They're stranded. They're landlocked. They're in floods. And FEMA, okay, so I did go up into Asheville yesterday. There's one way in and one way out. I actually made it up into Asheville and around into O-Team. And the damage, I mean, houses literally washed down the road, or they're covered. There's mudslides. But Asheville, there's so many dead bodies that you can smell it. The stench is becoming unbearable. Like you can smell it.
Wow. She says the stench in the scriptures goes into the dead should be cast out as dung. So just imagine when everything shuts down, when there's no more power, there's no more working toilets, there's no more refrigerators, there's no more hospitals operating, and people just dying and rotting in the streets. It's literally going to be hell out here, man. Okay, because one thing about it, and you know when you read in the scriptures, it goes into from the famine to the pestilence. Famine leads to pestilence, and pestilence leads to famine, or pestilence leads, or dead bodies or dead leads to diseases. Because when these bodies rot out, and the diseases that these people carry in their bodies, that's gonna be horrible, man. I mean, think about think about all the obese people, think about all the unhealthy people, think about all the people that's overweight and they riding in the streets, man. Summertime, and then you got animals that's dying, and then you got animals coming from the hills and eating bodies, and it's gonna be bad out here, man. Okay, you think this is bad? Wait till this hits all 50 states of Babylon the Great, when that's totally a killing field out here. So it's gonna get pretty bad, brother. So we coming into some times that we tell brothers all the time, like, it's not gonna be light, man. Okay, just you brothers ever smelt a dead body or something that died? Okay, it has a rotten sulfur smell to it, and it don't smell. It's very disturbing. So just imagine when you have a society that's totally collapsing. You have millions, and not thousands, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but you have millions of dead people in the streets. Okay, you're going to have people dying in their houses. People going to be dying in these FEMA camps. People going to be dying in the streets of America. People just going to be, everywhere you go, you're going to have to literally walk over dead bodies. Okay, this is why the Lord is going to have to be with us in that day, man. Okay, because it's going to get real, real crucial, to say the least.
There are that many dead people. It's bad. It's very, very, like, I can't describe to you how bad it is.
And when you say FEMA, is it that FEMA can't get into certain areas, or FEMA isn't doing enough?
They're not doing enough. Where I went to, we had family members in Asheville. We got to the house. They said that FEMA was there, asked what they needed. There's 2 babies in the house. Asked what they needed. They said, we need water and formula. They left, never came back. How long are babies supposed to wait on formula? How long are people supposed to wait on water? How long are they supposed to wait? So they were there. They know what they need. Where are they? You know, we saw emergency vehicles riding around. We had to get into Asheville. We drove over live power lines and under fallen trees to get to our family members. The people are helping the people. The people are helping the people. But here's another problem. So they're telling people to donate to FEMA, not to bring supplies in, to donate to FEMA, and FEMA's got it under control. That is not the case. FEMA does not have it under control. Like I said, there are...
Yeah, because FEMA give all your money to migrants. Okay, you could thank the Biden administration for that. Okay, like we told you, FEMA was never in the business of helping people. FEMA is actually set up for military and military use, you know. Political wise, you know, it appears to be Federal Emergency Management Agency, but they just said we had a grand attack on a federal scale. That's when baseball stadiums and coliseums would be converted into prisons, and this is when, you know, they start to shut things down on a federal level. Okay, state level, I mean, this is a state level right here. So basically, you know, they do what they do, but on a federal level, That's when the shit really begins, okay? I know that because in my job, we had to take a FEMA course, and, you know, I was picking their brain and asking them certain things because, you know, FEMA is not what they tell you it is, all right? It's truly not what they tell you it is, and they have billions back in these infrastructures, man, you know? So this is all the calm before the storm. So let's get a precept real quick. This is the book of Isaiah 34, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says here, for the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. Now, this is talking about World War III, but still, the semblance of this situation is what's getting ready to happen. It says, and he have utterly destroyed them, and he have delivered them to the slaughter, and their slain also should be cast out, and their stink should come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain should be melted with their blood, okay? Now, this is talking about a war of Armageddon, but nonetheless, it says that the dead should be casted out. And what did this lady explain? She stated that, well, look, it's dead. Like, the dead is everywhere. Like, the stench is unbearable, man. You know? And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not to be trifled with. All right? And Jake out there playing games with the Lord's prophecies. All right, man. You know? Because this can very well be you in these predicaments. Just because you call yourself an Israelite does not mean you're exempt from these judgments. Just to put that out there. We all are capable of getting jacked up by the Most High, right? We're not exempt, not one of us. So we can't take this thing for granted. Like, you got guys out there teaching that the mark of the beast is this and this and that, other than what it really is. That's a heavy offense unto the Most High, okay? And you're going to be held accountable for that. Deuteronomy 10 and 17, it says, for the Lord your power is a God of gods, and the Lord of lords, a great God and a mighty and a terrible, which regarded not persons nor take a reward. Okay, so the Lord is not to be played around with, man. All right, you people take Yahweh Shem Yahushua for granted because he's a slow to anger. But the Lord is pissed off at us, man. He's mad. He's pissed off at this place. He's mad at you, Jakes, you know. And Lord's will, we found worthy and justifiable in his sight to not be partaking in this shit, man. Because it's like, I don't want no parts of this, you know. So, and it says, for Yahweh, your power is a God of gods and Lord of lords, meaning he's over your gods. All right, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regarded not persons nor take a reward. He doth execute judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, and giving him food and raiment. Okay, so the point is, the Lord is very terrible, and he's not to be taken lightly. He's to be greatly feared. Okay, the scriptures say, fear Yahweh and reverence him. That's the beginning of wisdom and knowledge. And these idiots that you call Americans, they don't fear the Most High, man. Okay, why do they need to fear the Most High? That's in Job when it said that, well, why do we need to fear the Most High? Believe in him. We've gotten shit ourselves. We don't need him. And this is the spirit that these lunatics come in, and this is the reason why the Most High is finally visiting their ass, man. Okay, the Lord said he was going to visit the wicked and the heathen, and he's doing just that. All right? Let's start at Job, I think it's 16. Shit. Hold on. Job 21, there we go. Yep, this is the book of Job 21. Yep, and I'm going to start at verses 13. It says, they spend their days in wealth, and in a moment they go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto the power, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. I'm like, look, we don't need you. We got our own shit. We got mansions, we got house, we got careers, we got your people. The hell we need you for? And it says here, and what is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit should we have if we pray unto him? Okay, it says, lo, their good is not in their hand, and the counsel of the wicked is far from me. All right, and that's the mindset that these people have. They're like, well, what do we need to do to read? Why do we need to pray to the Most High for? He's not important. Yeah, we know that there's a God, but otherwise, you know, God, he's just there. You know, that's how Esau thinks. That's if he believes in him, because most Edomites don't believe in a higher power. Okay, they believe they are the power. You know, even if they do believe in a God, they just think he's just in the heavens, just dormant, letting all this bullshit take place on the earth, and he has nothing to do with it. He's very well aware of what's happening, because he's orchestrating it. Okay, Scripture said that the Most High is a power that hideth himself. All right. Second address 8 and 50 says, for many great miseries should be done to them that in a lot of time should dwell in the world, because they have walked with great pride. Okay. And these people are very, very pride, to say the least. This is why they're getting hit so hard, because, hey, he's hitting them in the middle of their pride. And good, call all your how about Shimmy how shy. Okay, because these people are wicked as all hell. It's the book of Nahum 3 and 3. And it says, the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there's a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there are none end of the corpses. And they stumble across their corpses, yeah. Okay, because down there in the Carolinas, Tennessee, you got dead that's scattered all around that place, because I believe they have lithium, and it's another element I just remembered. But the brother, it's another element that they went down there to get. But the lithium fields are heavy, down there. And I found out, I believe in parts of town, I believe Bill Gates invested in 15-minute cities on where this hurricane is allegedly hitting at. I think Milton, from what I was reading. Don't know the truth to it, but I will assume that would be somewhat of truth, because this is the same shit that happened in Maui. Okay, you notice they're not reporting on the Maui no more. You may have a whole 15-minute city out there, 2-3 of them, that's up and running. McDonald's, Amazon, all that shit. But they're not reporting on it because, there's a blackout on these things. But it says here, the horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there's a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none of their corpses, and they stumbled upon their corpses. And as this system collapsed completely, you better believe that, hey, like apostles always mention, they said we're literally going to be jumping over dead bodies just to get across the street. And I can believe that, but you're going to have the stomach to stomach that, because 100 dead bodies, just one dead body is enough to clear a funeral home out. Just imagine if you have thousands of dead bodies in the streets, not embalmed, and they're Putin and shit, because, sometimes dead people, they can fart, and that shit'll clear a whole that'll clear a whole apartment complex out, because it's that rotten, So just imagine you got all these dead people that rotting and decaying in the streets and deplicating on themselves. That's gonna be, you're literally gonna have to, you ain't gonna be able to go outside. It's gonna be like they call it, like a danger zone, a contamination zone. You ain't gonna be able to be out here like that. Even dead animals smell. All right. Second address 16, and I'm gonna start at verses 28. It says, for of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. And as an orchard of olives upon every tree, there are 3 or 4 olives. Or as a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even in those days, there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search the houses with the sword. And you better believe that people are trying to loot, find whatever they can find. And I believe they got shoot on sight orders. Okay, don't think it's just FEMA. No, motherfuckers are down there getting it in. You come on somebody's property, they gonna put one in the back of your head. Let's go up here, verses 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead should be cast out as dung, meaning there's nobody to bury them. Okay, nobody's gonna put these corpses in graves, and nobody's gonna have funeral services for these people, but they're gonna just rot out and they're gonna decay till there's no more. And there should be no man to comfort them, and the earth should be wasted, and the city should be casted down. So it's gonna get real bad out here, Akim. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there, giving out praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So as will you edify?
Last night, somebody was at the river and just looking at the destruction and cars upside down, and saw Halloween costumes floating down a river. And
this lady looks like she's in distress. Look at her.
And then she saw faces and realized they weren't costumes. She said, I've seen bodies and I'm not okay with that. And then somebody called and said, when is somebody going to come collect all the bodies that have piled up along the embankment of the river? And then a man called saying, I need 911 at my house. And somebody said, why? Are you okay? And he said, yes. I'm okay. But I opened my front door, and there are several bodies in my front yard. Last.
So yeah, man, people catching hell. I don't want to play that because they'll cut it, they'll turn it down.
And you cannot convince me otherwise. People, listen, this is deeper than you think it is. Not many people know this, but North Carolina and the specific towns that got destroyed is the richest in lithium in the world. They have been trying to buy this land from these people in these towns for years, and the residents have stood on ground and said, you're not touching our land. We've worked our asses off our whole life to build this land for ourselves and our family. So what do you do if the people will not voluntarily give up their land? I'll tell you, and I think you already know. You purposely flood them out and destroy their whole entire livelihood. That way you can condemn the land unlivable and uninhabitable to
Oh, it was quartz. Those crystal quartz.
the point that you can just write it off as a fucking land grab. People, it is us against the government at this point, and the normal person does not realize this. Unfortunately, you should not feel bad for thinking, oh, I need to stand up for my people. You should not feel like a freaking criminal for thinking that way. People, you are not evil. You are not a criminal for wanting to help your fellow Americans out. Fuck the government and the way they're making you feel. Listen, we have all seen the videos. They're not letting anybody in there to help. FEMA and everyone is turning people away and taking the donations and saying, we got it covered. You don't got it covered. You don't. The only thing you got covered is the inside of your fucking pockets, because that's what this country's known for, is fucking greed and getting their nose into a bunch of bullshit they have no business getting their nose in. We live in the most tyrannic fucking country in this fucking world. And it's sad, because that's not what this country is built on. Do not let the government make you feel like you are a criminal for trying to help your people out, because that is the human God thing to do. I'm not inciting a fucking riot or anything, but I'm telling you people, we need to fucking bind together and take fucking control back of our country. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They intentionally flooded